Okay, good evening, guys. So today, we will be continuing because today when I was recording, right? So the morning session, right? Basically, due to the power outage and due to like the UPS, right? The whole power was drained, so I couldn't continue it actually. So when I was explaining about the rules, right? So when I was explaining the rules, suddenly the power went off actually, and even the internet. So hence I couldn't complete what I was saying. So what I will do now, we had started the day 17 today, but I would not say that day 17 one or part A or something. I'll just continue the day 18 itself now. Okay, but I will just continue from where I had left. So here, so I was just explaining about this lamb.yaml, right? Like basically, if you're trying to give the same lamb.yaml to your friend who wants this playbook file because he doesn't know how to write a playbook file, right? So basically, what he will do, like you have to see a lot of constraints here because maybe in your playbook you might be using some variables which you have defined in some other path. Like for example, here you have some variable, right? So you might have defined your variable something like var.ml under the slash my variable. So this is the directory under where you have mentioned the variables, right? So what happened, right? If you're trying to give your lamb.yaml file or lamb.yaml file, if you're giving to a friend, if this lamb.yaml file, if it is using some kind of a variable like this, then you need to even give this file also to him. And also you should tell him that you boss, you need to go and create a under slash, you need to create a directory by name my variable, under that you have to place this file, right? So there are a lot of there might be a chance like where there are a lot of constraints might be there in your playbook file, which you have to tell to a friend so that he will do all the settings ready before he executes this playbook file under his environment. Suppose he's a dev guy and he's under working under dev environment. He might have a Ansible server where he want to deploy the same setting he want to do under some dev servers actually, or some dev host servers he want to do. So in that case, what happened, right? You have to tell all these constraints to him. So in that case, what happened, right? You are making sure that actually before he executes the playbook file, all these setups should be done, right? So that's what it is. That is not feasible, correct, right? That is not a good idea, and it doesn't really work out in the real time. So guys, so so what a friend says that actually that, so before when you give the playbook file, right, he only asks you one thing, that whenever I'm executing a playbook, I have to just execute that playbook file. That's all. Don't tell me to do this pre-setting of here, do placing a file over there and everything. Okay. And here, and one more thing, guys, whenever you're writing any playbook file, suppose you're writing a YAML file, lamb.yaml file, do you put force the condition to a friend saying that, okay, this playbook file will only run on Ubuntu 18.04? Suppose at your friend's location, right? Maybe there might be a Red Hat servers or there might be a CentOS server, right? So you cannot put forth any condition to him. Or suppose like there is a requirement comes to you only because you are an Ansible developer and you are writing a playbook file. Suppose some XYZ client, he might come and he might tell that, okay, I need this particular playbook file to be written. Could you please write? This is the requirement. Now, when you're writing a playbook file, do you put a constraint to the client saying that no, I have written this playbook file only to run under Ubuntu or CentOS or Red Hat, right? We cannot put that constraint because we don't know under the client side what kind of an operating system distribution he might be using. So in that case, what happened, guys? You have to write the playbook file such a way that irrespective of any operating system, your playbook file should get executed. That's what it means, that you have to make it very, very generic so that your playbook file will get executed. Similarly, what happened that when you are giving this playbook file to a friend who want to do the same lamp setup under his environment, you cannot put forth any condition to him, right? So what you have to do that for, to overcome this, actually, you have to learn about how to convert your whole playbook file under the roles. Okay, so you need to, so I've already mentioned that, but again I'm repeating, you need to convert your playbook file, that is a lamp.playbook file, lamp.yaml playbook, into the roles or into the Ansible roles. So Ansible role, as I said earlier, it is a structured way of organizing your complete playbook file. Okay. So now, how to write a role basically. So before getting into the role, actually, what happened, right? Suppose like today you, as I said earlier, today you are executing your playbook file in your organization. Suppose the same playbook file, you are saying that Rajesh, the same playbook file, it has to get reused again and again by entire globe or anybody. It's not only within my organization. Anybody can download my playbook file. Anybody can execute it. Then in that case, guys, you have to write a role, and you need to put the role, or you need to upload your role if you want to make your role visible to entire world. If that anybody want to make use of those, then you need to import your role in Ansible Galaxy. So guys, I'm just bringing one terminology here, that something is an Ansible Galaxy. Okay, so Ansible Galaxy is a place where you will be put forth in your roles into the Ansible Galaxy. Ansible Galaxy is like a repository. It is like a sorry, it is like a centralized repository where you have uploaded all your roles, and anybody can download your roles to, and he can make use of your role to do some setup actually in his environment. So so there are many contributors are there who have written a lot of roles, and they have uploaded into the Ansible Galaxy. Okay, so if you want to see the site, actually you can just go like this: https galaxy.ansible.com, or else you can just type in your Google, go to the Google, and you just type like Ansible Galaxy. Just to type this, that's all. Ansible Galaxy, and you could see that ansible.galaxy.com, this is the site actually. And if you open this site, now you could see that actually that this will show you a front GUI where you are having something like a search menu. Suppose you want to search for any role, you can search here actually. See, you can search over here. Or else if you want to have any community, if you are belong to some community, or you want to like search for some community, right, you can go to the community, and there you can search with it. Search with any kind of role which is written by a particular person, right, there you can go and you can search it. So basically if you go to the home here, so this is the it's the home page, and you could see that there are multiple options are available. Like for example, you want to have roles related to system, you can go here. You want to have some like a playbook or Ansible roles related to the development activity, related to networking, related to the cloud, related to database, related to monitoring, related to packaging, or related to security or web. You have a separate menu for each and every stuff actually. Like for example, if you go for the database, so here you will get all majority of the roles you could see here, where you can install any kind of a database unit. Like for example, you want to install the MySQL database, or you want to install the PostgreSQL database, or else you have to install the MongoDB or Redis, right, or Cassandra, any database you want to install, you want to configure, right? So you need not to write any playbook for that separately. Yes, of course, I mean, if your organization requires that you to write a playbook file, yeah, and if they don't want to take a help from the Ansible roles, then yeah, you can write it down the whole playbook file by your own. So you have to go through documentation, understand each and every step of how to deploy or install, the particular DB in your system, and then the same thing. What are the steps you are doing it manually? The same stuff you have to write in a playbook file, right? That's what we have been seeing. But usually, what happens, right? People doesn't do that because you anyhow there are a lot of roles are there, right? Then why you have to rewrite the code again? So you can go to the ansible.galaxy.com, you can download any role and you can install in your system and you can configure it. That's how usually people does, right? So here you could see that, guys, you could see that system development, web, monitoring, networking, database, right, Docker, cloud, Ubuntu. See, there are so many menus are there where you could see that you will find all the Ansible roles for the particular domain. Like for example, if I go to the database, I'm already in the database. You could see that you want to install the SQL Server, you want to install the Cassandra, you could see that you can even install any kind of a PostgreSQL or SQLite, right? So there are a lot of databases are there where you will get particular roles here. Suppose if you go for the cloud and you say that Rajesh, some NetApp storage is there that it has to get enabled into the AWS cloud, right? Then you can go with the cloud here and search for the NetApp storage. So you will get many models or many roles which are written for the NetApp storage, where you can go through that role and you try to understand how to make use that role in your particular environment, right? Now you could see that here you have home. This is the home, and here you have a search. Basically, you can search for any kind of a playbook file. For example, suppose I want to search for MySQL. I'll just say MySQL. So now you could see that, guys, you have a lot of playbooks or the rules written for the MySQL, right? So you could see here, like MySQL is there, and here you have some people have written about the PostgreSQL. But I want to search for some particular person, like filter. If I filter it and if I go with the role actually, so I'm looking for a particular person. Yes, this is a guy actually. So this person is a Girling guy. So his name is Girling actually, but I mean his ID is a Girling, but he is very famous. He's very popular, guys. When it comes to Ansible roles, he has written a lot of Ansible roles for almost everything, right? So I would always go and prefer to his roles, right? So he's one of the popular guys. Similarly, like for example, if you go for the PHP, I think PHP is also he's already written it, right? For example, you are going for HTTP. Suppose you said, Raja, I want to install the HTTP and configure it. Is there any role for that? If you just type HTTP, so yes, you will find many people. Like he's also one of them. Buluma is also one of the famous guy who has written the HTTP. Like that, there are many guys are there who have written a role for the HTTP, right? So I'll just go with the MySQL first. So now you go for the MySQL. So we landed up with this page where like this Girling guy, right? He has written it. So if you click on this, actually, if you click on this, now here you could see something like you want to download the whole role, what he has written, this fellow has written, then you need to copy paste this command, complete command. Ansible Galaxy hyphen Galaxy install space Girling MySQL. So when you copy and when you install it, basically what happened, right? Whatever he has written, the role, right, that will get downloaded actually. Okay. Now if you come down here, if you and this is what it is, and you want to see what are the code has written for that, guys. Whatever the code he has written, you could see at the right side there's a GitHub repo is there. So if you click on this GitHub repo, it will basically get into a GitHub account where it will show you what is the code he has written for installing this MySQL. So this is what the code he has written. You might see certain folders now, right? Like handlers, meta, task, template, vars, defaults, and all. We will visit this now, right? But just try to see that this is what the folder structure, what is it? This is the folder structure, guys, for the roles. So whenever you see any roles, inside the role, you will see there is something a default directory, handler, meta, task, template, vars. So this is a default directory structure actually. So we can go to the code also. Okay. Now here, if you come down here, and basically, whenever you're writing or whenever you're finding any if whenever you're finding any playbook file, always you have to make sure that you need to read this. So this is for MySQL Server for RHEL, CentOS, Debian. Okay, so it means that this is a common role which he has written, which can be deployed in various different Linux flavors or various different Linux distribution. Okay, so here if you come down, he has mentioned what is the architecture which this playbook file is supporting. You could see that it is supporting for all Debian, and if you come for it is supporting for EL Enterprise Linux like Red Hat or something, and you have something as a Ubuntu. So right, so these are the various different like flavors actually for that. So it is supported. So these are the different version which he has uploaded. Actually, the latest version is 4.1.0. That is the latest version which he has uploaded in 12 days before, right? And now here you could see that actually that you need to just copy this and execute it. So we will revisit this, but we will do it later. Okay. So you need to copy and execute it, right? Now after these details, guys, after this complete details, there is something as a readme. So what is the readme means? He has given an elaborate description about what exactly his playbook does actually. So I would strictly recommend everyone to always go through whenever you are trying to download any Ansible rules. from the Ansible Galaxy, always guys make sure that you should go with the readme. So readme we will give you carefully like what are the pre-requirement for that particular Ansible role to be executed, right? If there are any parameter which is passing, what are those roles parameter which is passing, right? Suppose like this is a database, so whenever you log into the database you need to provide some username and the password. So here he is giving what is the default username and what is the default password. So why you have to read this, because this will give you some inside picture of what exactly this role does actually. Now the thing is that why you have to read it, because right, there are many people out there who will not read this readme properly and they'll land up with some problem. Because in this readme he has given all the limitations also. He would have told something like, okay, this role might only run for CentOS, it will not run for ubuntu. So in that case maybe you might have downloaded this role and trying in your ubuntu and you're trying to install it or you're trying to run it. So it will not work out, right? Because already he has given saying that this playbook file will only, or this role is only, it will only work for CentOS. So in that case, guys, what happened, right? You should not go with any kind of an assumption. So never ever go if you are trying to see any kind of a role from the ansible.galaxy.com. You should not go. We should not go with any assumption. Please read this README document carefully. Everything. Try to read it. Try to glance everything. Understand what it does. Then you will get to know that okay, this playbook is for that particular usage, and these are the limitation or constraints like that. So you will get to know all those information. Okay. So because many of the times what happened, right, you will you will face some issues, and finally when you read me, they would have given somewhere, they would have given that point that under that particular requirement, this playbook this Ansible role will not work, like that they would have mentioned it. So be very careful in that way. Okay. Now so here guys, what we are doing here, so this is okay, fine. And here, what happened? These are the three tabs are there, guys. Actually, okay. There is one more, fourth and fifth tab is there. That will get enabled once you are logging in it. So it means that how you can log into the galaxy.ansible.com. If you have a GitHub account, then it will log in it. Once you log in it, you will get two more tabs will get added actually like this. Suppose if I later log in like this, okay, I'll click on this. So I'm trying to log into the GitHub account. So you could see here, see guys, there are two more tabs have been added. See, I have logged in into my GitHub account. So I have a GitHub account by name Rajesh1311 something. In that way, what happened that these two are enabled. So this why we have this two tab, I will tell you later. Suppose like I log out. Suppose if I log out it, see this two tab will get disabled. Okay, guys. So whenever you're logging into your Ansible.com with the help of some GitHub user account and password, then you will see that these two tabs, a separate two tabs will enable automatically. My content and my imports. Okay. So now what is our agenda now? What we have to do now? So basically what we are doing here that whatever we are having the playbook file. Now you say that Rajesh, I want to convert this entire playbook file, that is a lamp.yaml file, into a playbook role actually, into a Ansible, not sorry, Ansible roles, into an Ansible role. Okay. Now what I will do, guys, I will go to my server, Ansible server. Okay. Now what I will do here, if I open this etc Ansible, Ansible.cfg file, if I open this file and if I just search for the role actually, role. Now you could see that actually he's saying that the role path, by default, the role path is etc Ansible roles. Okay, that we know very well, that etc Ansible roles. So this is the path, guys, where whenever you try to download any roles, the roles will come and download and sit here actually. Okay, so that's how it is. So now what I will do now, like I will create my own role, my own role, my lamp role, something like that. I'll create it. How to create it? You have a command which is Ansible -galaxy. So this is a command. If you execute hyphen help, now you could see that actually you have something like a Ansible Galaxy role and collection. Okay. So I will go with the role, not with the collection now. So these are the two types are there. Either it could be role or either it could be collection. What is this collection? We will see later. Okay. Right now we are concentrating on the role. So I'll just say Ansible -galaxy and I'll say role. And again you give hyphen help. So this is always, guys, whenever you're working on the command line, you should always make a habit of doing this way. So whenever you don't know what exactly the parameter which you are passing, right, then you have to always use a hyphen help. That will give you some information about how you have to use that further options. So if I say Ansible Galaxy role hyphen FNL, can you see that it is initialize? Initialize a new role with the base structure of a role. Okay, let me use this option in it. So let me clear the screen. I'll just say Ansible hyphen Galaxy role init, and again I'll give hyphen FNL. Let me see what exactly it does. So what you say that after this, you can give further other options are there, or else you can give the role name. See, role name. So the argument what you can pass further is a role name. Okay. Let me clear the screen again and again do a. I'll remove this hyphen FNL. So what I'll do, I'll just say my lamp role something. I'll give this name. When I enter it, can you see that directory by name my lamp role has been created? Means that you are trying to convert this entire playbook file now into a role structure actually, right? So this is the directory guys actually. So if you go inside a directory, my lamp role and say ls, can you see that there are so many different directories are there? So this is what you have to remember. So there is one of the very basic intro question they'll ask you like how you create any role or how to create a role. You have to say that I have to use Ansible Galaxy command with the role, with init, and with this. Earlier, this role was not there, guys, in the previous version and all, right? Suppose I want to create one more role. I'll just say Ansible-Galaxy. I need not to mention the role option. I'll just say init like this, and I'll give something name as a dummy. Enter. Now you could see that it'll create a role by name dummy here. Oh, sorry. I think I created inside it. Sorry, guys. I will come out from my role. I'll remove this dummy here. Okay. It has got created. So in whichever directory you are, right, by default there it will create. So here what happened again? I will rerun this dummy, right? So Ansible Galaxy init. So I'm not using the role option. Earlier we used to run or we used to create a role structure in this way. Right, a role has been created now. You could see that you have a dummy directory. If you do a cd to dummy and say ls, now you could see that same structure, file structure or the folder structure, whatever is there. So either you can do this way, but nowadays what happened that you have something, one more option, role is option is there. So that you have to always use now. So don't use this option. Okay. So I'll come out from there. I will try to remove this dummy. I'll do rm-rf and then say dummy directory. So I remove that role. So now coming back here. So I'll go with the my lamp role and say ls. Now you could see that there are so many different folders are there. One is a default, files, handlers, meta, task, template, tests, and vars actually. Right, right. These are the different folder structures are there. So in interview, sometimes they might ask, right, what, can you tell me the role structure or what are the important directory structures for your roles? You have to say yes. There are default directory. There's a files directory. There's a handler directory. There's a meta directory, task directory, template, tests, and vars directory. Okay, fine. Now, could you please tell me one line information about each and every folder, what it does? They might ask you. So you have to say that always whenever any role has to be executed, the role will executed, okay, whatever the task which you have written under the task, right? So under that task, right, there is one file, by default file will be there by name main.yaml. So this file will get executed, you have to say. So whenever his role is getting executed, how will try to find that? It will try to go into this task. Under this task, there is a default file by name main.yaml. Whatever you have written inside that, it will get executed. So guys, this task, don't get confused. This task is nothing but whatever you are writing a playbook file, right? When you're writing a normal playbook file, you are using this task, right? So it means that when you are executing this playbook file, what Ansible server will do? Ansible server will try to execute all the things whatever there within this task, right? So it understands that these are all everything other different tasks or different jobs which I need to execute. So the Ansible server will only start executing from below from the task, whatever is there, right? Similarly, here what happened, right? If you come down here into the server, you have a task directory. Under the task directory, you have some default YAML file. The name of the default YAML file is a main.yaml. Okay. Now, suppose assume that if I come out from here and if I execute a tree command, here, if I execute tree command, you could see that it is showing you that these are all the folders are there, but many of the folders you could see that there's a default file by name main.yaml. Like for example, task, under task, there's a main.yaml is there. Under test, okay, fine, there is something inventory and test.yaml, which we will see later. What is this test? Under template, there is nothing like that actually. You can create your own file actually, right? Under the template. Now under the VAS, you have a same file with the name YAML, main.yaml, and under the handler also you have the main.yaml, as well as under the default you have a main.yaml. So it means that most of the directory you could see that there's a common directory, sorry, common file with the name main.yaml. So this main.yaml is nothing but the main file within that particular folder, you have to say. Okay. Now, if you come to the task, as I said earlier, if you come to the task, so this is the task basically where you have main.yaml. Whatever you write it here under this will start getting executed when you are running an Ansible role. So now you say that Rajesh, whatever you have defined here under this, suppose this is the lamp.yaml. Okay, this is a task. Under this task, you have defined so many stuff. Are you going to write everything over here in this path under this task under the main.yaml? Are you going to implement all these things over here? I say yes. It is this is what. So whatever you find it here, right? Everything you will be writing under this main.yaml. Okay, guys. Now let's see how to write how to run or how to write this installing the lamp with help of roles, like. So what I will do now, guys, I will just try to open this main.yaml file. Okay, so already the structure is there, the three hyphens are there, you need not to worry. So what I will do that, I'll start writing a task here. So what I will do, guys, I'll just say name. So I'll just say insert. Okay, I'll just say hyphen name something installing Apache package, something. So basically, you know that I have to install this Apache package, right? See, I have to install this Apache package, right? That's what it is. So what you're doing, guys, you have to use the APT model. You know very well. You're just copy pasting, guys. You are just seeing all the things, whatever is there, same thing you're writing over here, right? And what you'll do, so here what happened, right? You have to give two spaces, one, two spaces, name. So what is the name you have to do? You have to install the Apache2, right? And here what I'm doing that update underscore cache, same thing, update underscore cache. So now, guys, what I'm doing here, guys, I'm using the package name here, Apache2. Now the question comes, Rajesh, shall I make use of some variable so that in that variable I will mention the Apache2? I need not to hard code it here in this, but yes, you can do that way also. How to do that? I'll just say something like double quote, double bracket, Apache underscore package. So let me make use of the variables here, Apache underscore package. Okay, guys. Now here what I will say that update next line, update underscore cache is yes, I'll say, and the state is present. Same thing is whatever you're doing here, you are doing the same stuff here. Like this. But here, instead of hard coding Apache2, I have just making use of some variable. So I will define this variable in some other file. I will tell you later what is this actually. Okay. Now what you're doing after this, you have to restart the surveys. Okay. So let me start from here, hyphen name. So guys, make sure that this should get aligned properly. There should not be any issue with the spacing actually, right? Name, uh, start Apache daemon, something. Apache D-A-E-M-O-N, daemon. Okay, and for that, what you will do, guys, you will call the service model actually. Okay, service model. And here, because I'm facing some issue here, so I'll give two spaces. I'll just say name. Here also what happened that I have to pass Apache2, but make sure that I'm passing through that to some variable, Apache underscore DAEMON. So daemon. And what is it? So guys, state is nothing but started. Okay. Then what else? Hyphen name. So now guys, I need to basically what happened that I need to copy the source file, or that is not but the index.html or info.php, whatever it is there, right? I need to copy that index.php under the slash wp.html, right? So to do that, what you are going to do that, copy the index.html, okay, to slash var wp.html. It means that after you install the Apache, right, by default you'll get this path actually. So for that, you know that I'll be using a copy model. So I will give two spaces here. src. What is the source? src is nothing but index.html. Now you might ask where I will define or where I'll put this index.html. I will tell you now. So, and then I will just say destination. You know very well that I'll be copying under the slash /ww destination, but that also I will not hard code it. I will make in a some variable. So open the bracket, open the code, double bracket. So what is it, guys? Apache underscore something document root something. So this is what it is. So you are copying this index.html to this path actually. Where is this? What is this path means? Basically it is slash or w.html only, but I am defining, I'm just calling some variable. So I will later, I will try to define a variable also here. Hmm. So now after this, what happened, right? You can even try to do a firewall settings and all. You can set a firewall and all, but I'm not doing here because since I'm using a cloud, by default, all the firewall settings are there actually. So then what happened, right? There's one more thing, guys, which I'll be doing now that I will be trying to configure or I'll trying to add an Apache configuration settings also. So for doing that, what I will be doing right here is that I will be trying to implement a Jinja templating. So what is Jinja templating? We'll see later. But just now try to understand at this point of time that I'm implementing a Apache configuration file with the help of some Jinja templating file. So name, what is it that? Add Apache configuration settings. Okay, so for that you have to use a template model, tmplat template model, and if you see the template model, you will see that there is something as src source. So I will give a name of the template file by name apache.j2 itself. Destination where I want to copy, because it is a Ubuntu, right? It is Ubuntu server where you are installing the like where you're installing the Apache package. So by default, what happens? There's one configuration file by name under etc. There is a file by name Apache2. Under that, there's a conf hyphen enabled directory there. So under this directory, under this path, I will be trying to copy a file by name apache.j2. This Jinja2 file, right? I will be trying to copy under this path. Okay, same thing. Assume that actually if you are into the CentOS or Red Hat, so what would be doing for the, this is for the Ubuntu. For the CentOS or Red Hat, assume that, right? So there's a file by name etc httpd. So under httpd, there is a file by name conf.b. Under conf.b, you used to copy this apache.jinja templating file. Here, if you are working on CentOS or Red Hat, right? So because I'm working on Ubuntu, so I need to follow this path. etc apache2 under conf.ml, I need to copy it. So coming back to here, so what I'm doing, I need to copy this source apache.j2 file, Jinja templating file to where destination. I need to copy under the path by name. What is it, guys? etc apache conf dot. So this also what I will do, I will make it under some variable actually. Okay. So what I will do, guys. So I'll try to do a I'll open the bracket, double bracket. I'll just say apache underscore conf directory underscore conf directory and close with the double quotes. Okay. Right. And you know very well that because I'm doing the changes actually, guys. So what I will do that I need to call again this service model to restart the Apache. But this time what I will do that I will try to call the notify actually. So what I will do here, whenever you want to write a notify, you have to write from here. Notify you have to call. It means that is like you have to mention some handler in some place. Restart underscore Apache. So guys, once you are added this file under this path, so this path is not but it is a variable. So I'll be defining a variable in some locations. So all this variable whichever I am using here, right? I have to define that variable in some path, right? Where is it? I will see. And also this index.html also I need to copy somewhere because from somewhere it has to copy that file and it has to put into this path. That's what I'm using the copy model. So this is a very simple, task which I mentioned. Here also you could see that what I'm doing here, guys, I'm just trying to install the Apache and just trying to copy this index.html file. I'm not I'm not really doing here at this point of time installing PHP and all. That we'll see later. but I'm just writing a very simple role to make sure that you are installing the Apache as well as you are copying this index.html to particular path, that is /var www.html under this. Okay, and also I'm introducing something, the ginger templating. So this is the file which I'm trying to copy. Okay, and I'm just putting under this variable, and this variable is nothing but etc Apache2 conf-enable. This is the path where I will be defining it, right? So this is the task, guys, actually. So it means that, so I'll just save this file. So it means that basically, guys, what I'm doing under the task in the main.yaml file, I'm mentioning all this task which has to get executed whenever your Ansible role is getting called. So just make sure that, just see at the beginning. So you have to always give the space here, open the bracket, open the quote, open the double flow bracket, Apache underscore package. Okay. I'm just seeing the syntax, guys. Okay. Then after that, name, start Apache daemon, service model, and here you are calling a name, Apache underscore daemon. Okay. State is started. Fine. Then name, copy the index file to the /w. We are calling a copy model. Source, give two spaces here, two spaces here, index.html file. The destination is Apache underscore document root. Open the code and close the code. Similarly, Apache config, add Apache configuration settings. So you're using a template, fine. So you are having SRC, okay, that is Apache.j2. Destination is this path actually, okay. And then finally after this, you're calling a notify. Perfect, guys. This is the perfect. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just save this file. So guys, I have written a task now. Come out from the task directory. Now you have many other directories are there. There are very many. These are all very important directories, guys. So now you could see that actually there's something as a var directory. There's something as a test directory. Task you have just now written. Template is also there. Meta is also there. Handler is there. Files is there. Now, guys, if you see this carefully under task, under task, you have this main.yaml file which you have written it, right? Now you could see that I have defined or I have made use of so many variables. Now you would ask Rajesh, where you have to define these variables? Guys, you have to define all the variables under the vars sections. So there's a directory by name vars. Under this also you'll have something like main.yaml. So there you have to go and you have to define it. And also the vars can also be defined even in this defaults directory also. Under the defaults also you have main.yaml. Here also you can put forth all your variables here in this file also. Now the question comes, an intro might ask, there are some variables are there which are defined under the VAS, and also you have defined some variables under the defaults. Suppose the variable what you have defined, the variable names are same. Which one your Ansible roles will take? So always Ansible roles or Ansible will give the more priority under the defaults directory, right? So later we will split these variables. So here 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 variables there. So I can divide this 4 variables under the as a 2 variables under the VATs, 2 variables under the default. You can mention it, no problem. It will not fail. Okay, work. But as of now, what I will be doing that I will be mentioning all your variables under the same VATs. So under the VATs directory, there is something known as a main.yaml. So just me clear the screen. You could see that main.yaml. So what I'll be doing, guys, here. Here what happened, again this is having 3fn. This is basically already it's a YAML file, right? So here what I will do, so we'll just say Apache underscore, what is the variable I'm using? Apache underscore package. So what is the package name? Apache2, right? This is what the variable and the value. Okay, and what else you are using, guys? Apache underscore package, Apache underscore daemon, Apache underscore daemon, DAEMON, daemon. So what is it? Again, it is same name, Apache2 itself. Okay, what are the other things which you have used the variables? Apache daemon and then like Apache underscore document root, right? So Apache underscore, make sure that guys the spelling should be correct. Okay, you should not do any mistake in the spellings actually, otherwise it will not work. So what is the path? /www/html. This is the path, right? So this is the path where you want to copy this index.html to this path. So Apache underscore document, here you have defined under this, under as a path as a /www. Fine. After that, what is it? Apache underscore conf, right? So Apache underscore conf. So what is the path? etc Apache2 conf hyphen enabled. enabled. So this is what it is, guys, as I said earlier. So because in the Ubuntu etc Apache2 conf hyphen enabled. So that is the path which I'm giving here. So it means that whatever the Jinja templating which you have written, right? This Jinja templating, it will get copied to this path actually. And this path you have already defined under the vars, you have defined etc Apache2 conf hyphen enabled. That's all, guys. So I think only 4 variables which I'm using. I'll save this file. Okay. Now, what I will do that, okay, if you come out from the vars and if you see the cat of tasks of your main.yaml. So what you're doing here, you are installing the Apache, fine, you are actually restarting the Apache package, and here you want copying this file under this path, and this path you know very well that it is defined as a variable Apache underscore document root. It means that this Apache underscore document root is nothing but it has been defined as a /w/html. So basically what you're trying to do, guys, you're trying to copy the index.html file under this path actually. Okay. So now where you'll place your index.html file. Now you could see that there is something like a files section. Under the file section, if you go inside the file section, if you do ls, nothing is there. Here you would place your index.html file. So index.html files you have to paste. So what I will do, guys, I'll just say echo welcome to Ansible roles. Okay, Ansible roles. I'm just trying to redirect the string to the index.html file. So ls, can you see that the index.html file is there? If I do a cat of index.html file, I could see that this is the content. So this basically, this file, I'm trying to copy under this path. That is nothing but /www.html. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Now after this, what you're doing here, okay, this section is over. Fine. What is one more section which you have written? So what you're doing there, guys, you are writing some Apache.j2 Jinja templating. You want to copy under this path. So basically, I want to have this Apache2.j2 Jinja templating file. So what is Jinja templating? Right now we have not come. We will come it later. Okay. So just try to understand that. Just try to understand what I'm doing here. And if you see here, there is something known as a templates actually. Something as a templates. If you go to the templates directory, here this is the template directory where you will be keeping all your Jinja files actually. Okay, this is the path actually. So what I will do, guys, I have to create a file with the name Apache.j2 Jinja templating file. So what I'm doing here, guys, I'm just trying to write some virtual host file, virtual hosting setting, and with the document root setting everything, and I'll be copying the Jinja 2 templating under etc Apache2 slash conf hyphen enable. That is the path where I'll be copying this file. So how I will do? You could see here just to see what I'm doing. Virtual host. Okay, then let me do one thing. Ansible underscore. If you see, guys, actually, if you open any of the node and if I execute the ifconfig command, and you could see that the network interface is ETH0. In some machine, you could see that ENS33 like that it will be said. But because this is we have took all the servers from your AWS cloud, you will find this ETH0 itself actually. But in some machines, suppose like you have configured all these machines in your virtual box, like for example in Oracle virtual box or in VMware, there it might give an interface something like ENS33 something or with some other name. So right now it is ETH0. What I'll be doing here, I'll come out here. I'll just say Ansible underscore ETH0 dot IPv4 dot address. Okay, open this, close the double colon 80. Okay, and then what you'll do, server name. So there is a Ansible setup is there or Ansible variable is there, something like Ansible underscore FQTN. So this will give a fully qualified domain name. Okay, that is what it is. Like for example, you know very well that let me say this file. So for your example, if I say Rajesh, I want to check the Ansible underscore OS underscore family, how you'll do? You'll just say Ansible -m model. You will use a setup model -a option. you have to use something as a filters is equal to what is it? Let me go to the Google and just check it. What you will do that Ansible setup model. So we can go anywhere. So basically, Ansible setup model will gather the facts. Now, if you come down here, you could see that Ansible hyphen all hyphen m setup all, and you could see that you are using some filters actually. Filter is equal to, right? So I'm using the same filter. Guys. Filter is equal to star underscore Ansible underscore OS underscore family. I'll just star underscore OS underscore star like that. So Ansible hyphen m setup hyphen a, and then what you'll mention all, or else because you know very well that under etc Ansible host files, you have divided or you are having these two IP addresses. So you say that Rajesh, I want to just check for only one server. So what you will do here, guys, Ansible hyphen m setup hyphen a user filter is equal to star underscore OS underscore star. Open the, close the code and you give this IP address. Only one server you can use like this. So setup model, what it will do, guys, it will give you the information about see Ansible underscore OS underscore family is nothing but Debian. So with the help of an Ansible fact is nothing but by using setup model, you are trying to get you're trying to filter that whatever you are is required, right? So here, what I'm doing that I am in my example, I'm using a Ansible underscore FQDN actually. So shall I check it out with the same FQDN? What is it actually? So let me filter with the complete name. Like what is it? Ansible underscore FQDN, fully qualified domain name. You say actually. Like if you say enter, you could see that you're using this Ansible underscore FQDN, which is nothing but this is the fully qualified domain name of this particular server. If you say all here, it will give for all the IP address, whatever you see. You're getting Ansible FQDN, this one. So this is the variable. This variable is nothing but this is Ansible fact. So I'm using the same stuff, guys, here in my Apache2. Same thing I'm using here. See? So whenever it sees that, what it does, what the Ansible will do, it will expand it actually, right? Okay, fine. Now what else, guys? After this, we'll just say document root. So you know very well that I'm having a document root by name as a variable by name Apache underscore document root, which you already defined in your var section, right? That only I'm using it, actually, right? And then just closing this virtual host. Okay, so you started the virtual host and you're ending this virtual host, and this is what the thing. So what you're trying to do here, guys, this one you're trying to from the template directory, whatever you are having a template directory, you're trying to copy this file, okay, and you're placing under this path, etc as Apache conf hyphen enable. That is what you are doing here. Come out from the if you come out from here, go to the tasks. Here, guys, in the main.yaml file, you know very well that what I'm doing here. Under this add Apache configuration file, so you're copying that file, Apache.j2 is number Jinja template2 under this path. After doing that, you are calling a notify underscore handler actually. So this is completed. So this is completed. All the variables I have defined under the VAS, that is completed fine. I have already placed the index.html file under the files directory, and now I have written a apache.j2 Jinja template under the template directory. Now what is else required? You need to write a handler, right? You could see that at the end, what you're doing, you're calling in a handler. You're calling a notify, but this is what the handler you're calling it actually. So what you have to do, guys, you have to go under, come out from the task directory. So there is something the handler is there. So get inside the handler. So basically, all your handlers you'll be writing here actually. So main.yaml file. So so what you will be doing, guys, here, you will just say that you'll just say name. What is it you have written? Restart underscore Apache, I think. Yes, restart underscore Apache. You're calling the service model, and then give two spaces, one, two, name. Sorry, name is nothing but what is it? Apache. Here also I'm using the same variable name, actually, Apache underscore daemon actually, which is not but it is Apache2 only, right? I'm just reuse. I'm using the variables actually. State is he started. It means that this is the handler section. So all your handlers, whatever you're writing, you need to mention everything under the handlers directory. So handler directory. So the name itself will give a clue. What is handlers means? All the handlers which you are writing, you will be placing under handler directory. What are the files which you want to copy? You want to do some operation onto the file, all under file directory. Defaults and vars. These are the two directories which are specifically for defining a variable, right? And after that, what meta is there? Meta is something like whoever is writing this role, he want to publish some information about himself. Suppose under the meta, there is something in the main.yaml file. Here you know that there's a some informations are there which you can provide. Suppose for example author. Who is author? So I have written this playbook file. Let me write my name actually. I'll just say Rajesh Singh. So what is the description? Right. I mean, so description. This role is used for deploying Apache Apache and what is it in Ubuntu 18.04. And what is the company name? Like for example, so I'm working for the Lumen Technologies. Let me use the same name, Lumen Technologies. Okay. So this is what some information which I have mentioned about myself. So suppose somebody sees this information, he'll get to know, oh, he's a particular guy who has written a role for this and what the role does, like this. So this is what some few information which I have mentioned under the metadata, right? And other things and all you need not to worry about. This Ansible tags and all dependencies and all you need not to worry about as of now. So nothing is there. That's all, guys. So under this, you have to just add these 3 lines. That's all, and save this. So if you come out from the meta, so as I said earlier, that meta information will give you the. You have to mention the information about who has written this Ansible role and what is the purpose for that, and who is the author, and what is where he's working, which company. Some information you can place it over here. So guys, I think most of the directories we have already completed. I mean, completing means I have written everything. Under the defaults, I'm not doing anything. Okay. Under the files, you could know that I'm just revisiting again all these directories. So I have written this index.html file. Okay, come out from that. Under the handlers, you know very well that I have mentioned all the handlers here. So under the main.yaml file, you have written the handler. So what is that handler? Is but restart underscore Apache is a handler which you have written. And what it is that it's going to restart the Apache service. Okay, come out from the handler. Meta is something like where you have you have written a meta information about the author as well as a author as well as a description about what exactly the role does. Right? Come out from the meta. Task. So this is what the very important. So task is not about what are all the things which you want to achieve. Everything you have mentioned here under this task directory. Right? And after that, what is a template? Here you have mentioned your Jinja 2 templating, right? If you go under the template directory, you know very well that I have written a Jinja 2 templating, Apache.j2. That is what you have written in the template. A whereas directory is a position place where you have mentioned all your variables. All these variables you have defined under the under whereas there's a main.yaml, there you have defined it. Okay, guys. So always make sure that, as I said earlier, that spelling should be correct. Whatever the variable name which you are using you in your under task main.yaml, then the spelling should be correct. If there is a small mistake, also things won't work actually while executing it. Now, guys, after this, now basically there is something known as a test dot directory. So what is this test directory? If I go inside the test directory, here you will find some two important files. One is a test.yaml and other is an inventory actually. So if you open this inventory, if I do a cat of inventory, you could see that it is saying that it is a local host. Local host is something like your own Ansible server is done by the local host. Or else whatever you are having a loopback, right? So if I execute the ifconfig command, so you could see that this loopback is nothing but your 127.0.0.1. This is nothing but your local host, or this is a local host IP address. Or else your own server, whatever Ansible server you have, right? That itself is a local host. I can even ping to myself. If I say ping localhost, you can ping to your own machine itself actually. So I'm pinging to myself actually. So you could see that it is actually pinging to the 127.0.0 itself. 122.127.0.0.1. So it is. So what you're doing basically under the test here, guys, here you are having this inventory where it is mentioning that actually it is having a local host. It means that whenever you want to execute the playbook file under the servers, like for example here, you know that you are having a, so the diagrammatic format will understand this is Ansible server and these are nodes, node 1 and node 2, right? This is Ansible server, and here is not, but this is the node 1 and node 2. Now you will say that Rajesh, I want to configure installing Apache and copying index.html to this path, this into this servers. Yeah, that is correct. That is what its requirement. But whatever the role you have written, like my lamp role, right? You need to test it. So where you can test it, you have to test the execution of these roles under the same Ansible server itself. So before you try to execute under for the node 1 and node 2, guys, basically you have to first test it out your Ansible under your Ansible server itself. So to test it, what they will give by default, they will give one test directory. Under that, what happened? There are two important files are there. One is an inventory and the other the test.yml. So inventory we saw they have mentioned as a local host. Okay, under the test.yml, what is it having? I could say it's simple, guys. You are having, it's the same thing. Whatever you write a playbook file, right? Like for example, here same thing. Hyphen F3 hyphens are there, hyphen host, local host. Instead of doing all, it means that I'm doing it locally. Okay, fine. Remote underscore user is root user. It means that basically you're trying to run as a root user itself. And you have to mention role space hyphen space. What is a role name? The role name here, what I have mentioned is what? My lamp role. The same thing here, guys. It is there under test.yml. See, role space my role. See, guys, how small your playbook has become, right? Earlier, you could see that this is a very big playbook file which I have written. Suppose on that you have written some 600 line of playbook file. So it's a very big file. So here you could see that you are just calling your particular role, right? So now what will happen that, guys, when you are trying to test it actually, when you're trying to run test it, guys, sorry, there is a, I think there is a lot of noises there because of the temple. Okay, and let's wait. Let me, stop for some time. Let me see if the noise goes. Sorry, guys, the noise is coming too much. That's the reason I'm just muted. Okay, so thank you. So, guys, what I was saying here that uh, Naresh,
Yeah, sir.
yeah, is it okay now?
Yeah, okay only, sir. Fine.
Earlier the noise was too much, right?
Uh, I didn't found anything good
Okay, okay,
only.
fine. No, no, it came just near, that we say God's mirror near, right? It just bypassed
Oh,
the,
okay, okay, okay. That
uh,
nice. Okay, fine, fine, sir.
yeah,
Carry on. Okay.
yeah. Thank you. So, yeah. So what I was saying, guys, here, basically you have to test it now, guys. So you have to test it in a local server. That is your Ansible server only. That is the way. That's the place. So you could see that you have mentioned it as a local host here, and the remote user is not but the root because you are running as a root user itself. You are saying root, or else you can say here become user, become yes. You can say just say like this. Suppose sometime what happened that if this is not there, remote underscore user, assume that so this is not there. I'm just commenting it out, right? Here you can use like this. yes, something like this. See, Control Z to become yes, something like this. Yeah, sorry, here only you have to become yes. Yeah, like this you have to. So if you say become yes, it means that you are running as a sudo user actually. So anyhow, I'm not doing that, right? Basically, what I'm doing that I'm just trying to run it as a remote user as root itself. So it has a super user privilege, so it will get executed. So role is there, okay, roles, and then like hyphen my role. Now you could see earlier like what happened, right? You could even have something like hyphen something like this, role colon my role, like that it was there, guys. Actually, it's like this only. So one, two, so two spaces, like this will be always right. So this is the role name actually. This is my lab role. So this is what it is as. So now what I'm doing here basically, guys, I'm trying to run this test.ml to verify it. So before that, let me let me check if the Apache is installed. I want to verify this. I'll go with the /ww HTML. See, /ww HTML is not there. It means that Apache is not installed. Okay. So now what I will do, guys, I'll just try to run the playbook file. So I'll just say Ansible hyphen playbook. You know very well that Ansible playbook test.yaml file, and I can even do a syntax F1 check if I do really need it. Okay. Test.yaml file. Oh, so sorry. I think I have given the wrong. I should give the YML, not YML. Right. So what it says that actually here, guys. So here something hyphen role, right? Roles hyphen role. I think I've given too much space actually, right? Or else it was by default. Localhost, or else I can even remove this role. So let me check this one. Let me remove this now, as of now. Okay, and let me see if it works or not. My lamp role, right? So let me run this again, syntax check. So what it says that actually what says that elsewhere in the file, depending upon the syntax, the error appears to be under it is roles handlers main.yaml line number 4 actually. Line number 4 main.yaml. He's saying it actually. So let me go to the handlers. There's some problem with the handler. So line number 4 actually. So we have to mention hyphen again, like this, right? And you have to give two spaces here, two spaces here. Finish, right? So come out from the handler, go back to your test folder. With that you have a test.yaml. Just check the syntax actually. Right, now it is perfect fine. Now what I'll do, I'll just try to run this playbook file. So guys, this now it will not deploy anything under the node. It is doing it in this itself, in this Ansible server itself. I'll just say enter. Let's see, guys. So what's saying? It's saying installing Apache, right? And what it does that it is trying to call. So you could see that it is actually calling the task. Under task, whatever the main.file is there, that is getting called actually. So under this task, you know that the first is nothing but what a task which I have written is installing an Apache package, right? So it is installing the package now. Okay, it has installed it, and then it is something missing dependency Apache. What is it, sir, guys? It's saying something Python apt, so that is not there. That's what we can even fix this also. So how to fix it? You have to just say sudo apt-get install python -apt. Maybe this package might be missing, guys. That's what it is throwing this error. But you could see that here it has executed all this. You could see that it is showing you the orange color. It means that the copying of the index.html file is been done here. The configuration has been done here as well as this has been done. Okay. But anyhow, to fix this issue, I'm just installing this package also. Let me check. So what is there? Already the newest one is there. Following the package automatically installed and everything. Maybe because of something, you have to run this command, okay, and then rerun this again. It will work. Okay, that's all. But whatever we needed, it means that whatever my role has to get executed, right, that has successfully executed, right? So you could see that the index.html has been copied. Let me go to this, guys. Let me go to this path. cd/var ww html ls. See, index.html is already there. So this file is already there. So welcome to Ansible. This file is already there, and also the Apache has been installed, as well as you know, like it has been restarted. So you can even verify it. You can go to your server, go to a server, Ansible server, just copy your public IP and just paste it over here in your browser and see that whether it is. See, welcome to Ansible role, right? So it means that perfectly your Apache is working actually. Now, guys, what you have to do now, guys, you have to run the same playbook file now to install under your node 1 and node 2, right? So to do that, what you will do here, you'll go back to the etc Ansible roles. Under roles, what is having, you're having my lamp role. It means that you have tested it successfully. You have tested successfully. Correct. You have tested it successfully. So what I will do that, I will go to the test.yaml. Here instead of local, okay, what I will do that, I will mention it as a all actually. All. It means to all the IP addresses actually. So whatever is there in etc Ansible host file, right? So to that host file, it will try to do all actually, right? Now I will save this file, right? Now what I will do that, even you can mention here also under the inventory can mention here, but this test.yaml basically try to refer to the configuration file, which is number etc Ansible host file. This is the file actually, it refer it. Here you are having both the IP address of node 1 and node 2. It will try to deploy here in this server, right? So now what I will go, I'll just edit it instead of that localhost I have mentioned as all here, and then like you are just trying to call this role, right? Under and you are getting call, and it will try to install in both this node 1 and node 2. Right, Apache will get installed, and your under /ww.html, your index.html will also will get copied here. So same thing will, whatever it happened in your server, right? The same stuff you are now trying to achieve through the nodes actually. So now just run this playbook file now. Ansible-playbook. Now you just do a test.yaml. So now you could see, guys. So you could see that it is actually gather fact. It has shown that these are the two IP addresses where it has to do. Now you could see that it is installing the Apache package. See here. So first it tried to install the Apache package to the 2.19, this server, and second it has installed this. It has started a daemon. It is copied this index.html to this path, and it has added the configuration file also. Yes, I have not seen, now I will see where it has added the configuration file, as well as it is calling the handler where it is restarting the service. So guys, you could see that it is executing perfectly the way we need actually. So the way we need, right? Exactly it is executing. Now what I'll do, I'll go to this node 1, go to the cd/var ww html. See, this path you got it. This is because of the Apache, and I'll say ls. Now you could see that your index.html file is there, right? So the index.html file is there. Similarly, if you come over here, see /var ww html, under that the index.html is there. You can do a cat of this file to just see what it has. So this is what you have, right? Correct. So now it has perfectly executed your role actually. So now what I will do, guys, just and one more thing, what it has done, it has copied the Jinja2 templating under etc Apache2. So if I go to the Apache2 directory, under that you have something known as a conf-enabled. Under the conf.ml, can you see that the Apache.j2 Jinja templating has been copied? If you open that file, Apache.j2, see, it is already substituted. What you are doing here? So if you see the file here, if you go to the server, and if you see the file, what you're doing under the templates, what you're doing here, Apache Jinja2 templating. See, I'm using Ansible underscore ETH0. So what it is doing, Ansible underscore ETH0 is nothing but your IP address actually. So it has substituted the IP address here. And then Ansible underscore FQT, the fully qualified domain name, it has been substituted. Document root is number Apache document root, which is number /ww.html. See, this is what it is there in your Apache.j2 Jinja templating. Now what happened, guys? Everything's perfectly fine. Now if you can go to the server, and here you could see that if you're copying the node 1 IP address, you know very well that you copy the public IP, come over here and just hit that public IP. You could see that this is getting displayed. Similarly, even the node 2 also. Copy this public IP and just hit it. So now, so it means that your Apache is perfectly running in all this node 1 and node 2, and as well as you are tested it. So how it is easy, guys? So it means that, see, your playbook has become so small that, you know, like you have written you have just came across with a playbook with just 3 to 4 lines. That's all. Again, as I said, right, in the main.yaml file, these are the tasks which are getting executed whenever the playbook file is getting executed, right? So where you have mentioned the playbook file under the tester, there is something like that test.yaml. Here you could see that the playbook has become so small now. See, it has become so small now. Correct? So that's how, guys. Now what you will do now, you have your complete playbook file, whatever you have written under the role structure. So this is the role is number, this is nothing but this is the role which you have written now. So now without any hesitation, you say that, Rajesh, now you have to give to your friend about this. No problem, sir. You can actually compress this, or you can create a tarball, zip it, and give this tarball or the zip file to your friend actually. So how to zip it? You will just say tar hyphen cvf create verbose and file, and just say my lamp roll dot tar and my lamp roll, like this. See, you are creating a tarball. So this tarball, let me zip it actually by using a gzip my lamp dot tar. You have zipped it. This zip file, what you will do, you will try to give to your friend. Now what your friend will do, he will copy this he will copy this mylamp.data.gz under them under his server. It means that if you give this file, he will take this file under and he will copy under this temp like this actually. What he will do, he will go under the temp. So first he will extract it actually. So let me remove this. What is that system D? So this is the tarball you are given. So what he will do, guys, he will just try to extract this file like this. See, he will extract it. So what he got? Oh, he got the mylamp.rom. Okay, he saw it. Oh, he knows a variable that he has to go into the test directory. Here you have a test.yaml. So here everything is fine. He will just give the host name, whatever the history is. For example, he want to run everything under his DB server group. So what he will do, he will just say like this, DB server like this. And then save this file, and then just try to run this playbook file like this. Like this, he will run it. That's all, guys. So he has to only do some few changes to this file and run the playbook file. So what will happen that your playbook file will get executed. Correct, guys? The playbook file will get executed. So with this Ansible role, right, it has become very easy to manage. Right. So here you know very well that your handler have the handlers, whatever you are writing, right, that has in the handler section. What are the files which you have to copy under the files? What are the variables you want to pass to your playbook file that are there in the VAS? Whatever the task which you want to execute, which are there in the task directory. And suppose if you are passing any Jinja templating under the templates directory, you will have your Jinja templating file also. See how easy now it has become to manage everything. Correct? So in that way, what happened, right? You will be able to provide this playbook file to anyone with the help of this role, that is my lamp role, and then distribute to a friend. He will just go and execute it. That's all. So the life has become very simple for anyone to configure everything with the help of a rules. So this is what guys the industry is looking for. So whenever you are writing any playbook file from now, so it's not like that you have to write a playbook file. You have to convert the whole playbook file into a role, because all the industry they have started writing only a role, not just a playbook file. So ultimately they'll convert everything to role, and you have to finally execute that role. And if your role is getting if your role is reused by many other team, share this complete role as a zip file in your organization, or else upload the same role under the Galaxy, Ansible Galaxy, so that anybody can download your role and he can make use of it. Okay. So now what we'll do quickly, let me check the time now. Okay, I think it is 1 hour 40 minutes. Okay, I thought I will show you something on the Ansible Galaxy, but anyhow, we'll stop it today. So what we'll do tomorrow, we will continue from the Ansible Galaxy. Okay, so what I will be doing now, I will be having these servers, like this is node 1 and node 2. These are two servers where I will be configuring or installing the MySQL, right? With the help of our rules actually. So now I will not write any playbook for installing MySQL. I will be using an existing role itself to install it. So that is what I will be doing guys now. Okay. So guys, hope you understood and you just practice it. So what is our next topic, right? The next topic for the day 12, day 19 Ansible. Ansible day 19 that we will continue with the Ansible Galaxy. Ansible Galaxy. Okay, and we need to understand about something about what is Ansible collections. Okay, something a basic information on that, and then like yes, how exactly how internally Ansible works that we have not yet covered. That will be covering next session, right? And there are some more few topics, some topics on Ansible fork. That few stuffs I have to cover, and suppose the exercise for all of you that exercise for all the viewers is that write a playbook file, write playbook. This is very tricky, guys. Write playbook for installing Tomcat 9 into either Ubuntu or CentOS. Actually, anything, whatever the notes you have, right, whichever flavor, according to that, you have to install the Tomcat 9 and have to configure it. So, guys, writing a Tomcat and configuring, I mean, installing a Tomcat and configuring is a very tricky task. So you need to understand about everything, anything. So this playbook file will be a somewhat little lengthy playbook file which you will be writing. But suppose whoever is writing this playbook file comfortably without referring to any of our existing playbook files. Suppose somebody might have written a playbook file. There are many people who have written, and you could see in the Google also, you will see many people who have written a playbook file for installing the Tomcat 9 or and configuring the Tomcat server either in Ubuntu or CentOS. You will find all the playbook files. You can refer to that, but what I would say that first go through the manuals actually. So manual means what is it? Something like this: installing Tomcat 9 on Ubuntu 18.04. There are many articles are there, guys. You can go with the DigitalOcean or else you can go with the Linux set. But I would suggest you to go with the Linux set or else even for the digital also. So if you go through this link, guys, they have given elaborately like how you have to install the Tomcat. And the prerequisite for the Tomcat is nothing but you need to have a Java to be installed. So Java need to be installed. After Java is installed, you have to first create a Tomcat user by using a user add command. So whatever you're doing, guys, the same thing you have to convert in the playbook file actually. And installing the Tomcat. So basically, he's trying to refer. He's doing a wget and he's trying to copy everything and he's placing this zip file under the temp directory. That's what he's doing. Later he's extracting it and he's doing many other operations. So this is very tricky, but I would request everyone to write a playbook file for installing, or else next class I will show the whole thing like how to install and configure in the Tomcat by writing a playbook file. After writing the playbook file for installing configuring the Tomcat, the same you need to convert into a Ansible roles or into the roles. And this is pretty simple. Once you know how to write a playbook file, right, converting into roles is not that difficult, right? Because you have to just understand the order or you have to understand the directory structure. That's all, right? So this is what guys the industry is looking for. So anything today, tomorrow you have to configure the Node.js and you have to install the MongoDB. So that might be the requirement. You have to install the, like you have to install even the Kubernetes cluster, right? Configure the Kubernetes cluster like master node. Can I write a playbook file, right? Yes, you can write a playbook file that. Can I convert everything into roles? Yeah, I can convert it to roles. So that is one thing. Or else you have to install and configure your Cassandra DB or Redis or any kind of a DB you needed. Yeah, you can write a playbook file as well as convert the same into roles, or else you can use an existing role. Somebody is already written. Why you have to rewrite it again, right? So similarly, you have to write a playbook file for installing the Kafka, right? So write a playbook file and the same playbook file what you have written written for installing the Kafka and configuration. Can I convert everything to roles? Yeah, you have to convert it into the roles only. So guys, roles is very, very, very important. Now you know the importance of the roles. It is in the industry, everything is converted to the roles only. So I would strictly recommend everyone to please follow the roles. You have to write the roles. In an interview also, you have to tell the same thing. You have written a lot of roles like that, right? So like that. So what we will do, guys, we will stop it here at this point of time. We will not be able to continue more. So in the next session, we will continue. We'll start, or we will continue from the Ansible Galaxy, from where we are. We will be continuing from there actually. Okay, this is what I will be explaining from the next session. Okay. So thank you, guys. Good night.
Hello.
Yeah, Naresh, stop it.
Yeah, you stop it, sir. I am unable to stop.
Even I'm also unable to stop it. Okay, fine.